Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel The Data Dose. So in today's video we will be solving one of the most important SQL interview question which is frequently asked in the interviews. So this problem I took it from the datadriven.com and the difficulty level for this problem is medium. So let's start the problem by reading the problem statement. So we need to find the above average cloud spend. So let's read the problem statement carefully and understand what the problem demands. So the FinOps team flagged rising infrastructure cost ahead of the budget planning. We need to identify every cloud service whose average cost per billing record exceeds the overall average cost across all records. And we need to return the service names in the alphabetical order. So let's see the input table how it looks. This is the input table. We have the cost ID, provider, service name, region, amount, account ID, and the bill date. And the the only columns which we need here in this for solving this problem is service name and we need amount. Let's the approach for me for solving this problem would be I would be writing a subquery, and this is the subquery which I will be writing, and then we can solve this problem with the help of using the CTE2, whichever we can use. So let's write the query here. I need to output the service name from the table cloud costs. Obviously I need to do the aggregation here and then the filtering. I need to do aggregation group by the service name and then filtering after doing aggregation, having the average of service name, having the average of amount, average of amount greater than the. Now here I will be using a subquery, select average of amount from the table cloud costs, and then I will run this query, and this is accepted, and just I need to submit. Okay, now I will explain what the query means and what does the query does. Here I used the concept of subquery, and this type of query where it returns only one value, the subquery where it returns only one value is called the scalar subquery. And let's learn more about subqueries now in this slide. First of all, what is subquery? As I said that a query which is written inside another query is called subquery, and here is the example where there are two select statement and one is the outer query, one is the inner query. The outer query is the main query and the inner query is called v- uh, the query which is inside the parenthesis is called the inner query. And as I said, there are two types of subqueries. One is correlated and one is non-correlated. And if we go by the definition says that a subquery that is run independently without using the other queries values is called the non-correlated. And in our case, for this problem, we wrote the non-correlated subquery because the inner query and the main query are not dependent on each other. So this is the same point which I iterated now. Like if we want to see the visual execution flow for this, the inner query only runs once, that is the subquery, and the result is stored in temporary memory, and then the outer query executes. In our case, This this subquery where select average amount from the cloud cost. If we take any imaginary value like 88, this would be stored in the temporary memory, and only one the result this query would be becoming greater than 88, just like a normal where condition or filtering condition. So non-correlated subqueries are only run once, and these are usually fast. The reason, that it only runs once. And next comes the correlated subquery. A subquery that depends on the outer query values are called correlated subqueries. And this type of subquery should run every time for each line item in the table. If there are million line item, the subquery will run million times. So for this purpose, this causes execution very slow compared to the non-correlated subquery. Uh, uh, and if you talk about the main differences between the correlated and non-correlated, which one is faster? The non-correlated. Which one is independent? Obviously non-correlated is independent. But one main thing between both of this is the point of execution, where how it starts with. In non-correlated subquery, the inner query is executed first. In our case, the average of the whole data is executed first and then compared, and then the main query is runs. But in the case of correlated subquery, the outer query is run first and then the inner query is run. And this is only the most important interview point which I highlighted here too. So this is all about today's video. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and share, subscribe my video. uh, See you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.